Hi guys, so today we are going to see engineering ethics and roles of engineers as part of your module 4 for S4 EEE EC and Civil under the Kerala Technical University. I am Ruzaid Abdul Rahim, Assistant Professor MBA Department, Srinaran Institute of Technology. Today we are going to see the roles and the models of professional engineers. So the models of professional roles of engineers means what are the different roles that engineers have to play rather than just to be known as an engineer. They have to play different roles in the society. Let's see them one by one. The first role is that of a savior. So the engineer has to play the role of someone who serves the society, who saves the society. Why? Because he needs to look into the greater cause. He has to look into the social issues and he has to serve the people. That should be what it should be in his mind. So that is the role of the engineer as a savior. Second role is that of a guardian. An engineer can play a crucial role in determining the needs of the society. He can guide and regulate the technological advancement by keeping in mind the best interest. So what happens here is that, for example, you take the Mullaperiyar Dam situation. So the need is, as a guardian, the engineer would try to maintain or guard people from whatever is existing technologies there. So he'll use his experience, his expertise in such a way that he will guard the people, guard the needs of the society. Okay. Next one is that of a bureaucratic servant. Here the role is of a employee who looks into the solutions of problems handed over by the organization. He decides what is best for the company or the management. He comes up with concrete ideas. All right. The next role is of that of a social servant. Here the engineer is looking at the society as his master. So the role of an engineer here is to constantly do things for the aspiration of the society. So for example, India wants to be a superpower. So what are the things that the engineers in this country can do to make India a superpower? So he's constantly looking into the aspirations of the society. What are its goals and ambitions and working towards it. Next one is that of a social enabler and catalyst. So in this role, an engineer doesn't single-handedly decide what is good for the society, nor does he simply go by the direction of the society. Instead, he assists the management to make informed decisions based on the best interest of the society. So he is not looking into what the society is telling him or what is the everything that they want. He's looking at the best thing that is possible to give to the society, and he assists the management or the organization to come up with those decisions. Next one is that of a game player. Game player is a person who is like he's looking into different economic and technological advancement of other countries or challenges of that given time, and he's trying to put in those inspirations or whatever he has learned or observed from others into the current economic situation of the present situation of the company or the economy he is functioning in, and bringing out a new solution, new ideas for a betterment of the entire society. Moving on, let us see engineers as managers. How do engineers become managers? What are the professional roles of engineers as managers? Okay, so there are several reasons why an engineer moves into manager positions. Some of the reasons may be a career move to a better promotion, as a reward for good work as an engineer, right? It is the duty of the manager to set ethical rules and principles for his subordinates. So what it is, why is it being said here is that engineers should also look into that. He should also set ethical rules and principles for all his subordinates and also for his boss with whom he is working. So the subordinate and the superior, the relationship between all these people should be in such a way that it should be ethical. So the engineer as a manager has to acquire certain qualities like skill of delegating tasks to others, foster motivation among others, try to remove all the barriers. Here the barriers can be communication, it can be psychological, it can be also certain barriers in bureaucratic levels where there is a lot of documentation and people have to move through different levels. One cannot avoid it, but if it can be avoided, it is the best. Maintain good relationship with everyone. Concentrate on the customer, client, or prospect. So since we are working for a company and the company is working for a client or customer, we should focus on their needs. Seek advice when needed. Avoid favoritism. So no bias. The work should be given priority, not the person. Consulting engineers. So the role of engineers as consultants. Consulting engineers are engineers who work independently for different employers. They do not have a regular salary, but are free to choose the projects that employers may offer to them. So they work from home, maybe they work on a contract basis, or they work as consultants. They are not working for a particular employer, but they work independently for different employers. So they are more like consultants, right? So consulting engineers, their responsibilities about safety of the project, confidentiality, advertisement and self-promotion are some important points a consultant should follow. So confidentiality is very important being a consultant because you're having a different set of clients. So if the consultant is unethical, he'll be selling his ideas from one client to the other client in such a way that the clients would be, they will be having a competition among themselves. That is quite unethical. Next role is that of engineers as expert witnesses. Sometimes engineers would be part of a great project. You have the metro projects. So you have the Kochi Metro, you have certain projects by the government of India that goes on for years. And sometimes some corruption may happen, and due to people's vested interest and someone taking bribes. In that situation, sometimes engineers are called in before judicial bodies as witnesses. They may be asked to give certain testimonies to hearings, and they will have to give the record of the actual events, whatever they have known, and in their own words. So this is another role of engineers as expert witnesses. Next role is that of an advisor. Engineers may be called upon as advisors on matters related to technology, development, etc. They may be called by government, semi-government, and local bodies, private firms, companies, and individuals. So before giving advice, engineers must study the things and situations very thoroughly. So sometimes, mostly those who are well established in their field and have certain years of experience, they would be called upon as advisors in various bodies, various departments in government and semi-government, even in local bodies, for the reasons that being they are seen as experts in certain fields, so they act as advisors. But when they give advice, it should be in such a way that they understand the situation from all the angles and give the possible solutions. They must follow the code of ethics of the profession and consider public safety and health, economic feasibility, technical aspects. So these are the things that they should know. The advice provided must be unbiased. Very importantly, unbiased advice should be given. There should be no favoritism. This is more theoretical than in real practice. So let's look into certain codes of engineering ethics. We have American Society of Mechanical Engineers. They have a certain code of ethics. All these societies have certain ethical codes and fundamental canons. We'll look into these in detail in our session in class. With this, we come to the end of this presentation. I hope that you have understood the session. Please feel free to contact me and ask any doubts if any. Thank you very much.